I am in the transition of switching up my self-care and what it means to me and how I proceed to do it. And I say that I'm switching it up because you guys know that I'm a new mother, and sometimes you can get lost in correlation with yourself and what you used to do. As Level said, sometimes money is the issue. And me being transparent is just, I was always a girl that had money. I had 3 jobs constantly. I hustled on the side, whatever. In 2022, I hit a brick wall. I stopped working for 2 years straight. That does something to somebody, especially when you have kids. So I could get my nails done. I could get my hair done. But more important things outweighed it. So instead of my self-care was looking like was getting my nails done, pampering myself, getting my hair done, going to get waxes, taking those strolls in the parks, going to see waterfalls, reading a book every now and then, sitting down. I've always been a meditator, but now in my self-care regimen, that's something that I have to include. I have to meditate. I don't care whether I go in my car and meditate. I don't care whether I'm in my room and I'm just sitting here with my door locked meditating in the dark. That's something that I do. Another thing that I do is I give myself words of affirmation. Sometimes when I feel like it's necessary, I might write down some things about myself and read them out loud to myself later.
I know that's something that we do often as a default, right? Call up our girlfriends and have a good conversation. But honestly, that can actually be very important. Sometimes we do need to get some stuff off, right? Sometimes, things that somebody at work and got on our nerves, our man and got on our nerves, them kids. Sometimes you really just need to vent and get that stuff off of you, right? I'm going to tell you something else that's a method of self-care. A good cry. Now, that may sound strange to a lot of people.
Amen.
Baby, when sometimes you sitting by yourself and you just let them tears flow, even if you got to ugly cry.
Mm-hmm.
Turn up the music, turn up the water, lock yourself in the bathroom, in the shower, in the tub, and just let them tears flow. It might not even be anything like detrimental to you right at that moment, but maybe things done just piled up way too high. You just need to
cry.
Yes, just cry and let it out, because after a good cry, and I'm a living, breathing testimony, after a good cry, you feel like light as a feather. You feel like somebody done pulled off a 10-pound bag of bricks off of you. And it's almost like a mind reset. You know what I mean? Like, we all have things that bug us, the things that bother us or whatever. But it's something about after that cry, it's like it's reset. Like, okay, so now that I done got that off, now we can get back to planning. Now I can get back to what we finna do now.
Absolutely.
That is it's absolutely necessary sometimes. A good cry will do you good.
Yes. In your evening shower, don't let nobody interrupt you. And I mean nobody. Don't even have that. Sometimes they tell you, now I did it at first, right? When I first had my baby, I let that steam rise up and put that baby right in that little sleeper thing, or in his baby tub, right behind me in the shower, and would take my little showers. Baby, he'll be all right in that swing. Okay? He'll be all right. Let him swing. He'll be all right. Let his lungs work. Okay? Because, baby, let me tell you something. If they're going to be on them tablets for an hour before bedtime, that is your time to go in your room, lock the door. They can't get out your front door. They'll be all right without you. Because I tell mine, do not open my door until I open it back. Okay? You've washed your butt. I'm going to wash mine. Okay? Don't open my door.
Amen. A good shower, a good bath will do that to you. Y'all hear me on here sometimes. I be splashing around in my tub. That's because That's because it's good. It's my good self-care. And let me tell you something. I done took my bath or shower for the day, right? But when I done got stressed out at work, I might be like, you know what? I need my bubble. Bubble baths have been a thing for me since I was a little girl anyway. But baby, I will go up there, baby, and empty in my Dr. Teals and get on in that tub and just lay on back, child. Lay on back. And just splash around in there as much as I need to, sit in there as much as I need to. But that's one of my methods of self-care. So sometimes when y'all be hearing me in there, it's probably because something got on my nerves. One of these kids, this job, I'm stressed. And I just need to lay back and politic with y'all for a little while. That's Vetta's. That's part of Vetta's self-care. My bubble bath.
Yes, Lord.
Does anybody else have a method of self-care they want to share with us?
I did share in the chat. Basically, like, I just learned how to do my own nails. So every week I just do like a fresh set. And this is something that I like make sure that I do every fucking week. Like, just taking time out to do it. I may watch a good show and have that on, or I may have some music, you know. And so afterwards, you know, I feel good because I got a fresh set. It looks good. So this is something that I'm like perfecting. And then just the thought of like saving yourself so much money, and now you can do other things with the money that you would have spent. You know, it makes me feel really good. So,
and doing things like that, it not only makes you feel good, like that you did it for yourself, but it feels good for your pockets too.
Yes.
Amen. Anybody else want to add their method of self-care? Where is K Slay?
I think K Slay was on the call.
Okay. I specifically wanted to hear from K Slay because K Slay, you know, K Slay is our cosmetologist girly. And I know she stand on them feet long hours. And K Slay definitely is one of our sisters that, you know, she be getting to it. And I just want to know, like, what you do for them feet, girl? What you do for that back and them hands? Because they be working, okay? They be working.
Right, and also not only that, she provides self-care to a lot of women.
She sure do. Them conversations. Hello.
The conversations, girl, she get they do done. She makes them look good, and that's what some of our self-care is, right? So it would be very, very interesting to hear from her, because what do you do? Like, you know, do you do your own hair? Like, how does one of your days look in the self-care world when you are providing self-care to other women?
Right.
And she's not only just a stylist and she provides, she's also a mother.
Right.
She's a good mother. So yeah, I do. She is one of our sisters that I want to hear from about how you manage all that, baby.
Well, myself, I know as a healthcare provider for the elderly, one of my self-care things is, because I am shifting and moving their bodies, I have now gotten, and I'm getting older myself, you know, the bones is boning, okay? I definitely get a massage twice a month.
I need to do that.
And I go to a chiropractor at least once a month to realign my body, because I know I be shucking and jiving and moving in different little angles, you know, to make sure I get on down there and make sure Uncle Pete, you know, his little rear end is clean. So, you know, I got to make sure I put that shoulder back in place, you know.
Amen. Amen. Because when you get stressed, your body tenses up. You know, a lot of times if you go to a chiropractor or to a masseuse, they'll tell you where in your body they can feel the stress the most. Most of the time it's in your neck and your shoulders. Even in, let me talk to my plus size girlies real quick. Guess what? We carry a lot of our stress. We carry it in our midsection. A lot of times, yes, it's a little fat and all of that, but baby, a lot of that is stress. A lot of that is stress.
Yes.
And that's why working it out sometimes will help with that as well, because it's helping you get rid of that. It's you're not only shedding those calories and fat and all that, you're shedding that stress. You getting that heart rate going. You getting, sweating all of that toxicity out your body, but you're getting rid of that stress too.
You're releasing those endorphins.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. How can we help our sisters build a routine? I heard somebody say, was that Levels, that says she plans out the 8th of the month every month. The 8th of the month. Does anybody else have any advice on like building a sustainable self-care routine?
I
think honestly, just hearing other women share like what they do and how they manage their schedules it's a good way to, try to incorporate it into your own schedule. Like she said, she makes sure that she schedules a massage like twice a month. So I'm like, I probably could use a massage too. Let me see, what time I have on my schedule so I can do that.
Okay.
Just continuing to have these conversations and sharing.
So I want to open this part of the show up to us sharing personal things, personal victories of self-care. How in the last, let's say, month, have you been able to just really focus on yourself? What have you done? And I guess we touched on this a little bit already, but I want to know, do you have a journal that you keep? Are there different books that you read? Share those things with us.
Okay, so I have 3 things that I do. The first is cry. You hit it spot on earlier when you said all you have to do is cry. Girl, I just did it yesterday. I literally had to go in the car and let it all out because I was so overwhelmed with what's going on in real life. The second thing that was it wasn't hard to do, but it gave me a total different mindset and it deepened my meditation even further. I stopped getting my nails done. I stopped getting my feet done. And I started doing my own hair. And the only reason why I did that is because I felt like it was a barrier between self-care and something that I needed mentally to look how I wanted to look, right? And I always want something to be for the better reason. I don't want to get my nails done so I can appear how I am in real life, if that makes sense. I don't want to have my lashes done because I feel like I need them. I need to embrace my natural, right? Because you have to fall back in love with your natural sometimes because we have so many additions to ourselves. The third thing is just sitting down and reading a book, meditating, going to the park and reading, getting in the natural element that was provided to us.
I want to share a few resources, and I'm glad you brought up the book piece. I want us to share some resources with one another. And I'm going to read a list of my own, and it's comprised of workbooks, books, podcasts, and a few apps that I use, okay? One of the workbooks that I use is called the Self-Love Workbook, and it just, it's a book that I discovered recently, and I ordered it, and it's by Megan Logan, and you can find it on Amazon, and it's basically like a journal, and then it has the little questions that you can answer to help you get back to that self-love, self-care piece. There's another book called Embrace Your Grace. I haven't gotten this one yet, but it was one that I absolutely had to put an asterisk by because I wanted to crack that one open and see what they have in there. Then they have one called Emotional Self-Care for Black Women, and that's also a mental health workbook. I use the BetterHelp app, where you can pretty much talk to licensed clinicians. And they also they can suggest different books, workbooks, and things for you to read and do to kind of help with the self-care piece as well. And then one of my all-time favorite podcasts, and I started listening to this podcast when it first debuted as well. And at this time, I had just divorced my ex-husband. And they just kind of helped me feel like, yes, I am, even at this big old age, I still sometimes have times where I feel like I do not know what I'm doing, right? And so the name of the podcast is called Getting Grown with Jade and Kia. And Jade and Kia are best friends from New York. And they pretty much talk about a lot of the things that we'll be talking about: self-care, parenting, finances, our goals and achievements, things that we're having trouble with, that kind of thing. And they just really made me feel like I'm a part of their little group. Like I always tell people, they my cousins in my head. You know what I mean? So I always feel good when I listen to that podcast. So I want to check in with y'all. Do y'all have any resources that you all can share here in the Lioness Den with us that we can take a look into?
So I have a playlist that I created, okay, and it's called Earth Tones. And on the playlist, there's like a lot of like smooth R&B music on there that I like to play when I'm like, wanting to relax or doing my nails or whatever. I personally use Tidal, so I'm going to drop the link to the playlist on there, but then I'm also going to drop another link that allows you to convert the playlist from one music player to your own if you use something else.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you so much for that.
So I use this app, and it's not so much with like, I guess it's not really like organizing or anything like that. It's just motivational. So you download it, and every day throughout the day, it gives you different little motivational quotes and reminds you of certain things. I put the link in the chat. I love it. I've been using it for at least a year now.
Oh, that's wonderful. Thank you.
I have a lo-fi playlist that I listen to. It's all instrumental.
Okay.
But it's like very chill, laid back. It gives you in that kind of zen space, so to speak. I'll see if I can make it to where I can share it with y'all in the chat.
That would be amazing. Thank you so much for that. Does anybody else have any resources they want to share with our sisters?
I want it to be known we're always in here on Clubhouse. That's a resource too. Mm-hmm. I can't tell you how many times I was struggling with something and popping in, talking to y'all, or just cutting up. Just it changes the trajectory of whatever negative thoughts I had.
I like that. Because whether we know it or not, we come to Clubhouse, we hear a lot, right? And for me, y'all have become almost like an extension of family. You know what I mean? We have awesome conversations. We do banter, bitter, and fight amongst each other, but just like family, we move on, and we able to get it back together. And then we also congratulate each other on our successes and achievements. And that's one thing that I love about this group of people, not just the women, but the men too, is that it's a sense of togetherness that I haven't really been able to find so much in other groups. So yeah, I'm going to say Clubhouse as well.
If we can, a lot of these resources that we're sharing, like once we leave the space, if you are a part of the Lioness Den chat on Spaces, if you can drop those resources in there, that way we can reference them later, like if someone's not able to download right now. And then later, even after this conversation, if you run across something that you like enjoy or that you find, like, we can keep conversation going in the chat.
I said, where is the Lioness Den podcast? Like, is it part of Cap House? Like, where is it?
So yes, it is part of Cap House.
Okay.
And these conversations are, recorded. So we can definitely spin the block on them. At a different time, we will definitely spin the block on self-care, because it's not something that one conversation can capture. You know what I mean? Things change over time. You know what I mean? And so what resources we have highlighted today, there might be more to share, We might have more successes and achievements. We might find more ways to own in on that piece. So we'll spin the block on this.
Absolutely. Does the podcast happen like at random?
So our podcast is every Wednesday evening at 8.
Okay. Absolutely. And the one thing that I would definitely want to share, in alignment with self-care, as mothers, as women, and I know that, that will definitely segue and open up this conversation, is the importance of our medical care.
Absolutely.
And that is something that I definitely took wholehearted within this last year, because some may know, and I will be very transparent with you ladies, is that December of 23, I found out that I had cervical cancer. And I had to make a choice to, if I wanted to have more children or if I wanted to be around to raise the children that I already have. God has blessed me with the ability to give birth to 2 boys. Of course, I have shared a bit of my story before, and I'll let you know that at the age of 19, I tussled and bustled with 5 men and was told that I would never have children. At 26, I gave birth to my first child. At 36, I gave birth to my second son. And in December, I made the choice. I had a full hysterectomy in July to get rid of the cancer. A years prior, like I said, I have 3 children. My brother passed away, and the year before he passed, I had full custody of his son. I remained to have full custody of his son. So yes, I have 3 children, and I'm raising them, and I had to make that choice. And it was, not until then that I was, of course, they are thriving well and healthy. But like I said, as a mother, I was falling to pieces. I had no knowledge of the fact that I had stage 3 cancer in my uterus. I'm just going to put it out there. I'm a very transparent person. I was, after having that second baby, I was running around here. You think, your little muscles get weak after having babies. I was around here wearing adult diapers, peeing on myself, like, okay, but the kids got to get to practice. I'm just going to do what I got to do, right? It was all a result of a thing. And I did what I needed to do. I got with my primary care. I got with the cancer specialist. Hell, I got with the urologist, who was like, "Oh, baby, your urethra is falling apart, baby. We got to put some Botox down here and get it together, okay?" So, yes, like Humpty Dumpty, I put myself back together, okay? I am healthier than I could be, looking at, at the age of 39 now. I'm healthier than I could be. I have gone back. Like I said, I had the surgery in July. I just went back on the 28th of August. They got everything with that one surgery. I do not have to have pill form chemo, and I do not have to have radiation. So take care of yourself medically, ladies. It is a part of that self-care, because you can make every doctor's appointment to the pediatrician. Make every doctor's appointment for yourself.
Amen. And that is such a brave story, and I'm proud of you. I love you, sis, and thank you for being so brave and sharing that with us. I'm sure that took a lot, and I appreciate your transparency. I appreciate you for it.
You leveled up right up out that cancer, boo. Come on.
Hello? Hello?
Hello.
Hey, K Slay. Welcome to the stage, boo boo.
Hey.
I've been looking for you, girl.
What's up? I'm late to the party.
Just know that I am okay, but my kids had no knowledge of that, so I'm going to come back when we get out the car.
Okay. So K Slay, I was just telling the other Lioness that I especially wanted to hear from you. I shared with them how, you are a cosmetologist, sis, and you be making the girlies feel good about themselves, honey. Getting their self-care together. And I just wanted to hear from you, like, what is your method of self-care? How do you keep yourself together? I know you stand on those feet long hours, and you're working with your hands for long hours at a time, and you offer a safe space for your clients to have that method of self-care with those conversations and being able to vent with you and get things off their chest. How do you sustain?
That's a good question, because sometimes I have to remind myself to do self-care because I'm always there providing it for other people. But for me, sometimes just sitting in silence is definitely some self-care. I love to sit outside and look at the sky. Going to the beach is another part of my self-care that I realize, being by the water and the difference in the air and just being able to look at nature and kind of take that moment to remember to just breathe. So I think maybe the most major thing that I do for self-care for myself is taking moments for myself to do absolutely nothing, to allow my mind to be free because it's always working for other people. And another piece of my self-care is vacations and partying. I mean, those are two other things that I really enjoy. So because I work hard, I make sure that I make memories in life. I don't forget to live. Yeah.
Okay. Now, I did share with the ladies that you are an amazing mother as well. Is there anything that you share with your daughter about self-care? What does that look like when you talk to her about it?
Well, self-care, as far as teaching her, I make sure that she has a full-on regimen for every day as far as her schedule goes, what she has going on the next day, what's going to be happening the next week. I also make sure that, when it comes to her hair, she's able to take care of doing her hair or doing her nails, keeping her skin together, just loving on herself as well as taking those moments with herself. So for teaching her self-care, I start with everything from diet to what she watches, when she goes to sleep, I make sure she puts on sleep music or frequency sounds. And proper diet. Those are really the most important things. And another part that we share as self-care, I would consider it self-care, is volunteering. Doing something that's outside of ourselves as well. Helping people outside of ourselves.
I like that. Because while we making other people feel good, sometimes it make yourself feel good that you've been able to help somebody else. I do know that. That was wonderful, K-Slay. Thank you so much for sharing. Another question I want to ask, do you have any resources or anything that you can lend to the Lioness Den that might help with that self-care piece? Any books, apps, podcasts, anything like that?
So sometimes when I go to the beach or I sit outside, I do listen to like spoken word, or I'm not sure what genre it would be called, but it's like spoken word over beats. So one artist I listen to is Londrell. And then sometimes I also listen to Eric Thomas, which is just more of like a motivational speaker. But other than that, I just find like frequency sounds. So I guess that would be one part I could share.
Okay. Yeah. So whenever you get a chance, if you could put some of that stuff in a Lioness Den chat, or maybe here in the room chat, whenever you get a moment, because we, like I said, we'll be spinning the block on this self-care conversation, periodically throughout the journey of the Lioness Den. So,
Hey, can I add a little piece too?
sure.
We have a Korean bathhouse here called Jeju.
Ooh, I've been wanting to get there.
Girl, you gotta, honey. Anybody come to Atlanta, we going to Jeju. Come on,
Yes,
it's like $35
I've been wanting
to
to
get
go
in.
to Jeju so bad. I wanted to go last year. So I go to Atlanta every Thanksgiving. My Aunt Juanita makes a terrific spread for Thanksgiving. My favorite place on earth to go. But I also celebrate my birthday in Atlanta as well during that time, because it's within a couple days of Thanksgiving always, or on Thanksgiving Day. So Jeju was somewhere I wanted to go last year but didn't get to make it. So that's on my to-do list.
Listen, if you go, let me know. I would love to join you.
Absolutely.
So the beauty in it is that in the women's locker room, you see a lot of naked women.
Mm-hmm.
They're getting naked. It's because there's a wet room back there where you have to be naked to access any of the water and the sauna and all of that. Well, there was a lady there one time, and she had a little girl with her. Little girl maybe was 8, 9 years old. And you know, we are trained to think, because we sexualize everything, that's inappropriate. Actually, it's not, because a part of self-care is also teaching your daughters self-acceptance.
Yes.
Look around at all these naked women's bodies. This is what real women look like. Real women look like everything. So if you ever stop looking the way you look right now, and you look like the lady over there or the girl over here, baby, you are still beautiful. Learn to love and accept yourself. And I thought that was absolutely amazing.
That is. Thank you for sharing that. Thank you for sharing that. So we have come to the end of our segment, ladies. I want to thank you all for being a part of this pilot conversation and this pilot show. I'm looking forward to our journey as sisters, as a community, as a space. And I just cannot wait for us to have more amazing conversations and share amazing things with one another. Is there anything else anyone would like to add as it pertains to self-care?
If anybody's struggling with loving yourself, y'all know where to find any of us in here right now. We will be the love and support that you can't be for yourself.
I know that's right. Well,
I would
Thank
like
you
to
for having
add.
this.
go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I was just saying thank you for having this. I think this is a great conversation, and it's something that needs to be had more often, especially other women empowering other women, because a lot of times women just tear each other down. So I really appreciate this tonight.
I'm so glad you were able to be with us, and I hope you come back to more sessions. But you are absolutely right. I do agree that this is an amazing space in a world where we have been known to have the reputation to beat down on each other so bad. This is our contribution to show each other love, respect, care, and show everybody else that women actually do care about each other. We actually can get along. So, Kaysley, was there something that you wanted to add?
I just wanted to say that I'm glad I made it, like, just at the lick in time, and it's okay to not be okay. I think people don't hear that enough. It's okay.
Amen. Amen. That is definitely a thing that is okay. It's okay to not be okay. And it's okay to tell somebody that you're not okay, because maybe they have a resource or a tool or something that can help you.
Or maybe they're not okay either, and y'all just gonna get through it together.
Amen.
That's the beauty of opening your mouth.
And can you just remind us how often we do this space or have this space?
Absolutely. So the Lioness Den is going to be a space. It's going to be a show that we do every Wednesday evening at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I think that's 7 Central and is that 3 Pacific Mountain Time? I'm not sure. It's 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
7 Central, 5 Pacific.
Yeah, 5 Pacific. My counting was off.
It's okay.
But yeah, so every Wednesday evening we are going to have these segments. And every Wednesday I will be looking for us to share something from our personal experiences, or maybe from someone we know, right? Also, if you guys could do me a favor and leave some feedback about tonight's show in the Lioness Den space or chat under Cap House or the Cap House site, that would be great. But other than that, I think we are ready to conclude. So I want to end with the motivational quote that self-care is your power in practice, because a well-rested lioness conquers everything. Thank you for coming out, ladies, and I look forward to speaking with you all later on.